It's never a good start when you begin your podcast by just like deeply rubbing your face.
Yeah, I was just thinking about how. So we're filming this for the very first time, and I woke up. We were meant to start recording at 9:30. I woke up at 9:27, and so then I just did such a rush job of washing my face.
It was
Put a
one of
hat
those
over my hair.
amazing, like, multiple group chat. Like, we should do a podcast. And it was like, Eli and I have our chat. We've got our chat with our producer, Tim. And this is admin that no one cares about or needs to know.
It's not interesting to hear about, but what you should know is that we've screwed up. Different days were said and different
days
chats.
were said.
But the good thing is we made it here,
And we've only just woken up. And so that's great,
that's
too.
an awesome energy, I think.
You know, when you leave the house and you're like, oh, my God, you are the worst husband in the world. Like, I've been so fucking busy this week. And then it was like Saturday morning. I was like, bye, I'm about to do my podcast for free. I need to leave now.
I
Like,
was at the exact same moment where I saw the messages. Sam was still asleep. Left, washed my face, ran back into moisturize, and I was like, "Sorry, I'm out."
yeah, I put on SPF and that was it.
Yeah.
Oh, but we're here and we're recording this on a camera.
Hello, everyone out there in the world.
I'm furious that we're doing that. Actually,
Yeah.
we've given in. You know,
To-
with the
to
pressure,
making
we've seen too
videos.
many podcast clips, and we thought, oh, we should do
We
it
have
too.
to do that.
And who knows what will come out of this?
Well, I am sick of doing the thing where what I do is play the podcast and screenshot it and then put captions on to share a little video. And I think it looks as lazy as it is.
I feel
to
like
make.
it's kind of funky. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
It's like a lyric video.
It's exactly. You're right, actually. Let's
And
stop
that's
the
when people.
camera.
That's when people actually, because people learn our podcast. Do you think anyone's ever learned a podcast off by heart?
Learn an entire podcast episode.
I don't know. Would be an amazing feat.
It's a challenge. If you can do it with this episode, we'll give you $1,000. We neither of us are working much.
Cue theme song.
I'm sorry, Mom. It's not a phase. It's the male gaze. They're both male, and they're both gay. The male gaze.
Welcome along to this week's episode of The Male Gaze.
And we gotta do some breaking news because no one else will, but also because you went to Pink last night. Much talked about on this pod. And I did talk about going earlier. I was deeply considering it. There were $99 tickets on the door. I went to see Zone
it's
of
never a good
Interest.
sign.
Well,
I saw Taylor Swift that way, actually, Reputation.
oh really?
The Reputation tour. I think I got like a $79 ticket.
Yeah,
with restricted view with Tom Sainsbury, and we had the night of our lives.
I went to see Selena Gomez, and it was the first time I've ever bought tickets on the door at Spark Arena.
Like, are there any
Are there any door
walk-ins?
sales? Yeah, are there any walk-ins? Can you get it on an artist pass here?
Little fringy joke there for anyone who's done the festival
I
circuit.
reckon there's a couple of people having a little laugh at that. Having a little laugh at that.
Yeah.
This is your first time seeing Pink?
No, it is my second time seeing
Saw her in
Pink
Spark
live.
last
I've
time,
seen
though,
her
and now
indoors,
she's-
and now
oh,
I've seen
great.
her outdoors. This is her summer carnival tour.
One of the main reasons I want to go is to see a concert in general at Eden Park, which I've not done yet.
It is amazing for that. I would say, yeah, like, we just have not built in the infrastructure in and around the stadium, like to get in and to get out. So, like,
Yeah.
concert ends, bedlam, like bedlam on the streets. It's just, and what I love so much about a concert ending is like the type of people, like you all get a certain type of person leave and walking out on the street. So if it was like, you know, a whole bunch of rugby fans or a whole bunch of Metallica fans, but like a whole bunch of Pink fans sort of storming home is just such a specific and incredible energy to immerse yourself in.
What does everyone look like Pink?
Everyone's dressed in pink and they're with their best gal pals. There's sort of like 4 to 5 women. Someone's been bullied at the office. Someone's got a daughter who's lost her way.
Oh my gosh.
You know, like it's that
Wow.
that everyone's sort of working through shit.
Yeah,
When you're at a pink,
yeah.
because pink is like
And finally, some release.
exactly.
Tonight is the night.
Just
I will be
scream and
raising
let
my
it out.
glass.
I know. But she like, because her music is like so about like anti-bullying and being brave and like pulling the middle finger to social norms. And so she's so
But she's the most mainstream.
she's not. She dresses super androgynous and she's got a short little haircut.
And she's on Any radio station can play a Pink
Yeah,
song.
which is amazing. That's,
Yeah,
that's
that is-
representation.
that is massive,
The Manic
yeah.
Pixie Dream Girls.
Yeah, yeah,
And that representation matters. She, so we're all just walking around the streets. Everyone's in like boots with heels that they've just totally regretted to wear. They're like, my feet are killing me, and just like dragging there. And there's no buses, and everyone's wearing their little wigs and their tiny little hats, and it's all starting to fall apart. And it was just, but then everyone's so kind, so polite, and so friendly.
I love the vibes of like, what an amazing thing. It's kind of like church. Everyone's like, what did we just experience? Wow, we saw our favorite gal.
But maybe like a younger person, like a Billie Eilish, say, and Gen Z floods the streets. The energy is like people want to hang out more and party outside the
Yes.
festival. Taylor Swift, I imagine, there's a party atmosphere. Whereas post Pink, it's like, shit, we have to get home. I am spent. I've had a full week of work. I've got the family. I've got my mum coming over on the weekend. We've got to get home.
I've had my one release for the year, and now it's time to get home. Get back
And
to
no
work.
one's called an Uber before.
Yeah.
No,
of
and they're like,
course.
so you download the app, okay? Well, how do I know it's coming? How do I know I've paid for it?
That should be a Pink song. I've never called an Uber.
Because I've never caught an Uber before, but I always like to catch a taxi.
Here I am. I'm gonna catch the Uber. Woo!
Yeah.
She flies across the stadium. How many times did you fly across the stadium?
Well, she starts the concert bungee jumping out of like a sort of carnival mouth, like with teeth, probably modelled on her mouth and teeth. So she's bungee jumping, and then two guys go up, and then she bungee jumps off them, and she sort of gets caught by them for a little bit. And then she does a lot of singing and a lot of sort of crazy banter with the audience.
Oh.
Where it's like, random. Like that's sort of her vibe out there. She's like, I don't know. What the hell are you all doing here? Like it's sort of that energy.
Oh.
I wouldn't say she was popping off.
I'm hearing Benny influence.
Yeah, yes. Well, I think Benny's been influenced.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's
Yeah.
what I mean. Benny is in the same lineage of like, I just did my song.
It's that. It is that. I'm going to put on my crazy little costumes. And
You guys might have heard this one before. Oh no, I don't care.
Yeah, and it's like relatability, and it's like she walks out with like, there's a big bit on like Twizzlers. She's like, I love Twizzlers. Oh, they're so yum. They're like plastic strawberry straws, random. And then she like throws some in the audience.
Did you have to bring? Did you go to Martha's? Like we
That's-
don't have Twizzlers.
I think
over
she's
here, really.
definitely travelled with Twizzlers. That's the thing I kept thinking. I was like, this bit,
Pink, do you have anything to declare?
just watching
50 packs of Twizzlers.
Twizzlers for my Australia, New Zealand tours. I watched it and thought to myself, this would pop off if you had like Whitakers
Oh,
or
yeah.
Pineapple Lumps. Like we would be, when a celebrity's like, I love New Zealand. I'm crazy about Pineapple Lumps. And we're all like, as if we'd all handmade them on the factory line or something.
Yeah, if you can learn one thing about a country, if she had been like, pop down to Countdown, whoops, Woolworths, confusing, am I right?
What's up with this coalition government? Fuck, man. What are we going to do about News Hub? We're just like, wow.
Oh, how did you know? God,
Should we get into it?
it's been such a sad week.
It's been such a sad week. The state of, it's not a fun thing to talk about, but
it's-
maybe we can have a fun spin on it.
I know.
Have you lost your job?
It's actually, I don't even know what I can say, but
I saw a spin-off article where I was like, Eli's lost his job.
yeah. I mean, it's definitely.
Or are you hosting the news now?
Yeah, I'm doing 6 p.m., midday, and midnight, and AM for 3 hours. It's all me. They don't have a newsroom to research, but they can have a comedian to sit on the side
Doing a fact of the gay on his
Yeah.
phone.
Pop off a little joke now and then. I actually, there's nothing official about our show being officially cancelled, but it certainly would be hard to make our show with a newsroom.
Yeah.
And so I don't really know what's happening. All I know is that building is
Cursed.
so big,
Yeah.
and there's
It's
gonna
surely
be,
going to be sold, right?
Well, yeah,
That big old newsroom.
it's so big, and there's multiple studios and things, and
up
there's
a
going to be
parking
like
lot.
50 people. Pay Paradise.
They pay
And there's 2 buildings, right? Because there's where the project was,
Yes.
which is
That was always going to be. I imagine they were always going to get rid of.
well, we were going to film our show there, and days before this announcement, they changed the banner from the project banner to a Patty Gale Has Issues banner.
Okay. Big day for you
A
guys.
huge day for us,
And
and
then
that was popping up in the
a big
group chat.
rise, a big fall.
What was amazing was we got like a Patty Gale Has Issues group chat, and that was popping up when the banner went up. It was all popping up. Everyone was
Yeah.
excited. I wrote a very funny joke where I was like, "Is that a Banksy?" And everyone was like, "La la la la." Ha, ha, ha. And then days later, some news broke, and I got to tell you, the group chat silent. No one was saying anything.
I saw that clip of Paddy Gower getting up in the room and talking to everyone. I was like, what a man.
What a legend!
Just immediately, he's such a hero, hey?
yeah.
A man of the people.
Looking so, he hasn't had to be on telly in a while, so he's let his hair grow.
Yeah, a bit
Yeah.
grubby. A bit
Yeah.
grubby.
Grubby, yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
He's a boy, isn't he? He's like,
He's
sort of a
rough and
tech.
tumble boy.
Yeah.
He's such a legend. That's one of the sad things is that I'm like, I'm so
Yeah.
excited to get back in the office because he is a very fun person to work with, as is everyone on that show.
It's crazy, like just in terms of the landscape. One thing I don't love, there's many things I don't love, but is the comments underneath every single post. It's like, well, that's what you happen when you suck on the teat of the
I
government,
know.
you woke liberal media
you
agenda.
listen to the government's forceful views and let them control you. and fuck, go woke, go broke.
I
Like,
hate that.
it's so
Like,
stupid.
they were just telling the fucking news.
Yeah, they're just doing the news.
Oh my god!
It's
and there's like, and they would have been doing the
crazy.
same shit for this government. Like,
Yeah,
it's just-
yeah,
oh,
exactly.
I hate it so much. I hate it so much.
People are gonna. I feel like this is one of those things as well that I feel like in 2 years people are gonna be like, wait a second,
Yeah,
what do we do? Like in
Well-
terms of consuming, in terms of staying up to date, and it's got such a trickle on effect because like so much comes from the new, like so much of our lives. Is,
where do you go for
the
your
news?
news? I mean, apart from our podcast.
yeah, this is the main thing. Well, I mainly like to get my news from someone kind of rushing through a Wikipedia page.
I would say I'm an RNZ head, maybe
Website or radio.
website.
I'm Newsub website, which actually because
Way to
it's
stay
very
loyal.
clear and made
It
for
is
dummies,
clean and clear and under control.
and I think it's updated the most easily. So even when I worked at TVNZ, don't tell them that. Don't have you been paying attention. The page that I would check the most was the Newsub because it was just digestible for me. Actually, these days I am stuff. I'm stuff all the way. Actually,
I like stuff. I think it's just like, and I think stuff used to be too much of like, this horse was born with 5 legs, and you'd be like,
Yeah.
what? I need to know what's going on with whatever's just happened. But now it feels a bit more concise.
yeah. And when stuff's going on, stuff has the
I
live.
see how they. I finally get it.
The name is clear.
I get it. Wow.
That the live updates, I really trust them on their website. New
And it's a
Zealand-
bit too fun. Like it's all like purple and millennial and like, oh, it's
Yeah,
oopsie, I'm a
yeah.
hot mess.
Do you feel like I mean, I don't want to start any wars, but I did feel like the spin-off did their kind of graphic redesign, and then I feel like Stuffs is not all the way to what the spin-off did, but
It's the impact
element.
of Canva.
Yeah,
Like,
and is it
everything's sort of gone this like, I don't know if they've done it on Canva, but it's like the way that like Canva has everyone's a graphic designer nowadays. It's like that sort of
those long
bad graphic
fonts
design and
and the
lines.
full size color behind it?
Yes.
It's Gorka. Was Gorka the Gorka website? I feel like kind of was the first one that kind of looked like that. Maybe I'm correct.
I've been doing a bit of stand up about this actually, not about Gorka.
What about Canva?
No, about websites. What was your favorite website as a kid? I just keep thinking it's amazing that we don't really have like
Favorite
favorite
websites.
websites anymore.
And sometimes sometimes I've been asked, what is your favorite website? In like a questionnaire for publicity.
I know.
I'm like, what do you mean? Instagram.com. Like,
Yeah, I know. But like, what is your favorite website?
well, it was neopets.com when I was a kid, for sure.
Interesting.
These days, randomly, there's a series of websites that I check every day.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Stuff.
No. I'm
not
going
news.
international here. One's for music, one's for movies, one's for celebrity goss.
Pink News.
No.
Okay. Okay. One's for music. Pitchfork.
I've got to Pitchfork a little bit, but I go stereo gum primarily.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, I like stereo.
I want more inspiration for music.
Yeah.
I find it hard. That's maybe what my goal is. Go to more websites rather than TikToks. That being said, I follow this girl on TikTok who's like, here's what I've been listening to this month. And it's like kind of music recommendations. And I
Oh,
was
that's
like,
good.
and then you can follow her Spotify playlist.
Fun.
And I was like, that's because I don't know how to discover new music, but I can follow someone who's discovering it for me.
And then
And
feed
then
it
just
that way.
and then just immediately blueprint my personality onto them.
Steeringum do a few columns, but one of them's the month in pop, and so they'll break down like
Yeah.
When Troye Sivan album came out, they did a big article about the Troye Sivan album, and then at the bottom it's got kind of like all the big pop singles from the month that you.
Wow. Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah,
what a
so
way
you
to.
might
Okay,
enjoy
so
that.
Studio Gum, whatever it's called.
Have you listened to the Ariana Grande album?
No, is it? When did it drop?
Last night 6 p.m. Probably when you were at Pink.
Yeah, I was actually listening to
Live
a
music.
more formative pop princess.
No, get out. And then I randomly got a website which I've gone to for so long, which is called Dark Horizons, which is movie news. I should just go to Deadline, but Dark Horizons is run by an Australian guy called Garth, and I don't know. Sometimes he just focuses a little bit more on Australia and New Zealand news, which I like.
That's kind of good.
Yeah, you get a bit more of that. And there's constantly typos, which I like.
Relatable.
And then there's,
I like that too. I feel like we should normalize typos more.
Yeah, I think
I
so
was like,
too.
who's got a proofreader?
Bring them back.
We're all running late. We're all trying to get this shit up there as fast as possible.
Do you know who puts typos in every single thing they do? Alice Snedden. And she is a successful,
Yeah.
an amazing comedian. I had to tell her that her Melbourne Comedy Festival listing had a pretty bad typo in it.
What does it say?
It was just a typo that like killed a joke.
In the poster or
No,
in
it
the-
was on the text on the website.
Okay.
So there was time to change it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I typo everything.
Yeah.
But that's why they've named a store after it.
Yeah, I was going to say, it sounds like when you say I typo everything, it sounds like you really make your stationery special.
Yeah. I make sure it always has an inspirational quote, like
Yeah. And a fluffy ball on the end.
and like a sort of keychain from a 90s sitcom.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the third would be celebrity gossip.
Yeah.
Where are you getting your celebrity gossip from?
So there's a website called Pajiba. And I don't even know
God,
why.
you really do have favorite websites.
Yeah, and I've just been going to them for so long. And it's hard to pull me to other ones. I'm sure there's a better celebrity gossip website that's more fun, but I've just been on this one for a while. And they do on that one they do a Saturday Night Live recap every week, which I do find helpful.
Yeah.
It runs through the sketches, rates them all out of 10, and then you're like, oh, okay, then you kind of know which ones to watch.
I haven't been to BuzzFeed in a really long time. Like, I would be like maybe 10 years since I've gone onto BuzzFeed, it feels like.
Yeah.
Something about it, like, and it's always being advertised to me on Facebook.
Really? You get
Yeah.
ads for BuzzFeed?
Just being like, take this quiz. I'm like, I'd rather die. I choose death. Do you want a bit more cable?
Yeah, should I? Maybe I'll take my headphones off and feed them through here.
Yeah, there we go.
This is going to be a good bit of the pod.
That's the best bit. That's the clip. That's the clip.
clip.
That's
Clip it up.
the clip it up.
Clip it up. Put it on Insta.
Make a little reel. Up she goes. POV, you're in a podcast like
The male gaze went viral this week?
10 million views. What is it? Eli gets his. It's amazing. It's just so funny. It's so relatable.
Yeah.
It's like POV.
That
you
feeling when-
that feeling when your cable is stuck around the leg of your table.
And then you have to change it to move it to the inside so that you've got a bit more length for your cable.
I would say I used to go to out.com a lot, and I used to go to, but I wouldn't say I'm checking websites daily. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Every morning you wake up. Boop,
Every
boop,
morning
boop.
I do those three.
You do.
Yeah.
I would say every morning I wake up and I look at TikTok immediately, and I would love to stop that.
I
think I want to find my stuff now. I don't want it to find me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so you only want to see stuff that you're seeking to watch.
Yes. I don't like waking up and someone telling me how to cook something immediately. Like, I used to like having to be like, I want to eat.
Yeah.
I'm going to go get a recipe. What am I going to cook? That's what I'm going to cook. Versus like, hey, you might want to try this lemon pasta. And I'm like, oh, whoa. Like,
wow.
I literally have just woken up.
Yeah.
Like, it's so weird to be like
That's such
learning something
An
like a
appropriate
recipe
breakfast.
sort of unconsensually in a weird way.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's hectic.
Yeah.
So I want to discover my own shit.
Okay, one of the reasons that I have loved Letterboxd becoming such
I
a fixture
love
in my life
Letterboxd.
is that it is a social media platform, but it's a social media platform that actually you don't want to sit there refreshing it. It's not like you look at it maybe once every few days, but
And it's helpful.
yeah, and it encourages you to go out, put your phone down, and watch a movie.
Yes.
So that you can write and share your views on it.
Yes.
And that is, here's an amazing thing that I have almost done. 2 more days to go. I've seen almost all the Best Picture nominees.
Wow.
2 to go, and they're both ones I can watch at home. So I could get this done before Monday.
Phenomenal. Oh,
Yeah.
Oscars are on Monday.
Oscars are on Monday.
It's a big day.
A huge day.
I actually go to Vogue a lot, weirdly.
Oh, I should start doing that.
It's quite fun.
Yeah. What sort of articles are on Vogue?
Oh, I'm not really reading articles. I'm more looking at lovely pictures.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I like
of
to
course,
sort
of
of,
course.
look at, or be like, these are the big things from Paris Fashion Week or whatever. And it's quite
Mm.
fun. They've always got a little bit going on. A lot of advertising. And you do need I do hate American websites where you're like, do you want to subscribe and get the full content? And you're like, oh God.
Yeah.
It's like when I subscribed pre-pandemic to Bon Appetit and was like trying to cancel it because I didn't want it anymore. And I was like, I don't know how to, my money's in this American, subscription model. I don't know how to get out of here.
Yeah.
Set me free. I'm going to buy YouTube Premium.
That's awesome, man.
That's what I'm going to do.
Hell yeah.
I go to YouTube every day. I love YouTube.
Yeah, we do that every morning. We watch a YouTube video on the TV. But I do sometimes wish the algorithm was slightly better. I feel like
I
every time I
agree.
go on, there should be something within those first 5 recommended videos that I'm dying to watch.
100%. It's very much like, based on the literal last video you watched, you might want to watch the next one in that series. And you're
Yeah.
like, no, I want you to throw something else at me. I want you to understand I'm gay. I'm in my 30s and I'm in
Yeah.
a committed partner with a partnership, and then offer me something.
Yeah, please.
You're not doing the legwork here.
Yeah, you need to work harder, YouTube. Well, maybe they do when you pay for premium.
So maybe
Premium.
Premium. I want you to mine my data further.
I want you to, while I'm sleeping, be in my skull, borrowing in.
Going through my bank account, seeing what I bought, and find a lovely video for me to watch. I'm watching a lot of gay men walking through their old country houses and being like, we bought this ginormous estate, when it was just sitting derelict, and then just like all the fucking shit they've done to it. It's so good.
Oh, God. I want to watch some
Can't
of
wait
that.
to live in the country, actually.
Yeah.
But
That'd be
not
great.
in a way that is kind of feeding back to the wildlife. I'm just gonna
Not with big farty cows.
no. I'm just gonna be making cups of tea and just attempting to keep a pond thriving.
Do you think you'd ever do beehives?
Yeah,
I see that for you.
but I wouldn't ever. I'd pay someone to come in and do the honey.
But they're on your property.
But they're on my.
They're
They're
on my
my
property.
bees.
Yeah, I don't have a bee suit, but
I don't
someone
have
comes
no.
around.
Exactly.
What's up with? I tried to do a thread about this, and I've noticed you've been really popping off on threads.
Thanks.
And I,
It's one of my favorite. It's not one of my favorite websites. I find it
it's crazy.
difficult. I'm always like, when is this? Is this all from a week ago?
Yeah, no idea.
When did you all say
and some of
this?
the people, I'm like, who are you?
I know, and it'll be like, here's another hot tip for Instagram engagement or whatever. I'm like, I don't care. I'm here for someone to tell me something funny.
Yeah. Also, a hit thread is 70 likes. I never see anything with more than 70 likes.
I kind of like that.
Yeah. Well, I was wondering, how many houses did Tan France have? Because he has been on Architecture.
yeah.
I feel like every week he's texting Architectural Digest being like, do you want to come around to my other property? Come look at this
I
other room?
saw his latest house and just thought it was the most revolting thing I've ever seen. His big old English house
With the
in
big,
Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
Oh,
Entrance with the thing.
so bad. Let's get into it.
What, the Queer Eye thing?
Yes!
We got to get into it. Yeah.
I think, it's amazing. And I think what's great as well is first and foremost, I think to brand yourself on being positive and kind.
It's a dangerous
game.
game.
If you make that because I think you should just be kind and positive and nice to work with.
Without selling
But you don't
it.
need to sell that to your audience or make that the reason why you're popular. And the hard thing for those Queer Eye 5 is they were just coming in there being like, you're going to love these queers.
Yeah.
They're so beautiful, the most precious souls in the world, and they love each other dearly. And of course, it's going to fall apart. I would say as well, I don't know a single queer person who isn't a bit high demanding.
A little bit miserable, a little bit anxious, pretty anxious.
Or just the whole JVN saga, the sort of tear down of their character. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not surprised. I believe it's true. But also I am like, yeah. Tell me
Yeah.
one, of course, they're a little high maintenance. They're a queer hairdresser who who's hilarious and
yeah, one of the
and a
only
star.
non-binary people in the mainstream media.
yeah, and has probably a massive ego as well because they're a star.
Yeah.
Should be treated as such.
Also, I feel like that job would be so high pressure. If you
Yes.
compared to, and also like think about the news. Then the news, like you just tell people stories, and there's no like the stories don't have to
Yeah.
fall into any particular rhythm. This is telling true stories, and they are obviously based in truth, but those stories have to be engineered in a way, which
Mm.
like especially because the first season when they came back, I do remember it was like. Great television. We all loved it. We all cried every time.
Have
but
you
then it
watched
just, like,
any more?
sets up- No, never since this
No.
first season. Never since the first
I couldn't
season.
imagine if we watched
It's
it
not
back.
actually for queer people to watch.
No, it's actually for Pink fans.
Yeah, it is for Pink fans. But also, I was reading this article that was like, none of them knew each other before they started filming the
No.
show. So apparently the only people that are friends are Tan and Anthony. They're quite tight.
And I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I like Bobby.
I love Bobby as well.
I didn't think I liked Bobby until I saw Bobby quit.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
see
yeah.
Bobby on on his own Instagram, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
he's fun.
Yeah, and it was kind of obvious, even from the early days, that like maybe he didn't quite fit in the mold in the same way that everyone else
Yes.
did. Into what
And that
Kuro
job's
wanted from him.
tough.
That job is crazy.
You're doing a house.
You're redoing it.
Everyone's sort of
an
bonding
entire
and having a little
house.
moment to cry, and you're like, right, I've actually got to muck in. I've got to rip up this carpet.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Anthony barely knows how to cook.
I mean, I'm not surprised, and I think it's good. I think it's good for how we are perceived in media, that we're not just always like these anomalies who are like sweet and kind and like, I feel like we should have more toxic queer people in media. It's better.
That's
Ultimately,
sad.
it's better for us.
I don't. I also do feel a little bit like, oh no, whenever like a queer person, and it's happened with queer politicians quite a bit, that they've been exposed as like bullying their staff, and every time that kind of happens, I'm like, oh god, no.
But we are bullies.
we do bully our
We
staff.
pride ourselves on being sassy in the workplace. And then we
Yeah.
are marching around bullying, Tina from accounts who went to
Yeah.
Pink in the weekend, and we're like making her feel shit. Like, let's
She's never called an Uber. Stupid.
no, like we're fucked. We are toxic. We can't deny that.
Yeah.
But I do like, we just got to set ourselves free.
Yeah. The problem is when you've set yourself a standard that you are going to be the nice, lovely person all the time.
And you're like, talk all about being kind and making space for everyone, and you're horrible. You're like, well, also we are just humans who get tired and snappy with each other. But I mean, clearly difficult to work with. But who isn't in showbiz, in this game called showbiz?
Well, most people in New Zealand are pretty good to work with, to
Yeah.
be fair. New Zealand's too small. New
Yeah,
Zealand's too
New
small for
Zealand's too small.
anyone to get away with
And
that type of behavior.
one day you're on the news, the next you're out. Like,
Yeah,
it's
exactly,
Like this, just
exactly.
we're all like, it could fall and crumble at a moment's notice.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like maybe we're going to be entering this like post. I felt like the sort of celebrity empire was crumbling around the pandemic anyway. Around the Imagine video, I think, was the beginning of it. Just like literally, like we were already critiquing it, but then the Imagine video happened, which I think is an important like piece of.
It should be in a museum.
Yeah, it should be in a museum. Of
It
like,
was like, oh, these people are clueless.
are clueless and rich and greedy and all that kind of stuff. And then it's all been like just falling apart ever since. Kardashian empire falling apart.
But then
Can we talk just very briefly as well about Kourtney Kardashian in Auckland?
misspelling Auckland.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
But then going to Wise Boys Burgers
Did you go to Wise Boys?
in Grey Lynn.
Oh, not even the Commercial Bay one.
No. There's a photo of her in like Grey Lynn just like smiling and having like, I mean, it's
Wow.
a great joint.
I love their burgers.
I'd argue if you're Kourtney Kardashian and you wanted vegan food,
I would recommend that. If someone had said Courtney's looking for a great vegan meal, I'd be like, oh, Wise Boys is pretty yummy.
a burger.
Well,
That's the first. I mean, no, they're great. But I'm like, she could have anything in Auckland.
do you know? But I don't know if my awareness of vegan restaurants is very high.
It doesn't have to be strictly vegan though. Just like a vegan.
They've all got a
dish.
vegan option. Yeah,
Everyone's making vegan now.
But even then, I wouldn't know which vegan options are good. Like, I know that I've eaten Wise Boys quite a bit, and I know that it's all vegan, and I can hardly recommend it.
Did you recommend it?
Yeah. I told her. Well, Kylie asked me, and I messaged her, and she relayed
Wise
it to
voice.
Courtney.
Wise voice.
Wise voice. Babe,
You have to go to Wise Boys.
sometimes you just want a burger, especially when you're dating a punk rocker.
I wonder what Pink's going to do in Auckland. She'll go to Waiheke
Didn't she get turned away from, last time she was here, she got turned away from that cocktail bar in Ponsonby?
because she didn't have an ID or something.
Yeah.
Which is, yeah, I mean, I love that.
Yeah, what is she up to today? They all go to Waiheke, right?
Yeah, she'll wake up, she'll have an ice bath,
Yeah.
she'll stretch.
Does she do ice baths? Is she that?
Well, she's flying around.
Yeah, but does it even do anything to... does she... Do you think sometimes when she's in the middle of the air, she's sort of thinking...
What would it take for you to do an ice bath?
I've done one.
Did you like it?
I don't know.
I keep seeing them. I keep thinking
Yeah,
about them.
they put them in at Les Mills,
Have they put them in?
and then very quickly they stopped working. But I did use one once before because there's the sauna and then there's 2 ice baths beside.
Oh,
it.
that's the downtown one, eh?
Yeah,
I've never
yeah.
been there.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? I'll call out Les Mills for sexism because I was talking to my friend Rhiannon about it the other day,
Yes.
and we were like, "Wow, you know when there's 2 changing rooms.
Yes.
It's such a mystery. And
What's
then
going
you
on in
see
the other one?
Yeah. I remember when we filmed a Funny Girl sketch in the Q Theatre women's toilets, and I was like, oh my god,
Yeah,
they're different.
They should be the same.
They should be exactly. So I think the Les Mills changing rooms are exactly the same. We were going through and like talking. Because I also wasn't sure if because the Les Mills has got like cubicle showers and then open showers, and I was like, is that because of like
Cruise culture.
cruise culture?
Yeah.
And then I was like, do the women's have open showers? She said they do, but what they don't have is these 2 ice baths. They just brought them in for the men and didn't bring them in for the women.
That's disgusting.
Les Mills, what's going
Dude,
on?
and
Equality.
And the day after International Women's Day.
Well, this was earlier. I didn't have that discussion.
But for the news to
this morning.
break.
Yeah.
Officially
for
on the-
us, and we
on the
now
only
do
out-
have to break the
Yeah,
news.
unfortunately, everyone's got a little bit of news they have to break.
How are people going to get the news?
I think
Because when clips go viral,
7 days.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, well, yeah. And when we used to have you been paying attention, I think people literally use that show to catch up on the news because it did tell you the biggest
I
stories.
think people watch TVNZ, get some TVNZ news.
Yeah, they do. But like, if you think,
What are we going to be watching? I guess Free to View's over.
Yeah, I don't
Like
know.
this, what's going to be on at 6 o'clock?
Yeah, I don't know.
Lego
That's what I wanted
Masters
to
or
know.
something.
Even when TVNZ were like, we're getting rid of the midday and the late night news. I'm like, what are you going to put on? You can't put on Emmerdale twice.
More infomercials.
yeah.
It's
Oh,
but I guess,
golly.
do you watch much Free to View?
Yeah, mainly we actually watch breakfast or AM every morning.
I love,
We pop that on. Don't tend to watch the 6 p.m. Definitely not every night, but occasionally.
Well,
pop it
AM's
on.
gone now. So you have to watch breakfast.
Well, AM's still going till June.
Yeah, well, that's not long
I
away.
know. But when, on Twitter or like on Instagram, when like a news story goes viral, it's often footage. And I would say it's quite often News Hub's footage.
And it is good for those like political interviews to know what's going on, and like it pushes
yeah.
the sort of story.
Yeah, and sometimes I'll watch like Hipkins or Luxon go on breakfast and
Yeah.
then switch the channel and see them do the AM as well. And they're often being asked like completely different questions about
Yeah.
completely different stories.
It's actually a hellscape out there now. I guess podcasts.
Yeah, which is why please welcome our special guest for the episode, Nicola Willis. We're really going to get into this. That's fine. Shit.
Oh my god! And Nicola, first question: did you enjoy Pink last night?
She definitely went to Pink.
She definitely
didn't
went to
she?
Pink,
Yeah.
She. There's something about her that really irks me. I don't know what it is.
Well, she's a big liar.
Yeah.
She said no extra petrol tax, and that clip of hers going viral.
I love that where she's like they've clearly as a group decided, all right, we're going to have to like charge a bunch of extra shit for whatever, and she's been like, no, I just said no extra petrol tax. They've got a clip of me saying that.
It's so. I'm like, they got in by saying things were going to get cheaper, by saying they were going to cut,
And they've
tax,
just-
and nothing.
Nah,
Nothing.
they don't know. It's just fucking crazy.
It's so wild.
And this is how every
And no one's owning up. No one's owning up yet. I don't
Nah.
see people being like, "Whoops, sorry."
It's like it's actually been like 2 weeks of just the worst like new things. You're like, okay, smoking done, Māori Health Board scratch.
Gone. Oh,
Like we're bringing your patches. We don't know how to do it.
yeah.
School lunches
School lunches
gone.
probably out.
We're gonna make everything more expensive.
How can you stand by getting rid of free school lunches? I can't believe this world.
And I was actually I was just thinking about it because like Seymour's quote on it was like, oh, there's like 2,000 lunches or something that go uneaten every day or what have you. But I was like, but the main number of how many you ship out was like way higher than that. And I was like, that's actually a shit ton of sandwiches or lunches that are being eaten.
So yeah, 93% of them get eaten.
What the?
It's so
yeah,
crazy.
it's so crazy.
Do you want to see? Okay, just
And the wastage that probably goes on in the Beehive office. Oh, that's why I'm just like, keep going and they keep doing the little dirt on them. Like, I was just feasting on that Luxon accommodation supplement stuff. Like, it just made me feel so.
when the Christmas party story came out, I was like,
What was that?
We got him. So on Christmas last year, he had 25 people around to Premier House and stayed overnight. So he clearly,
Likes it.
yeah.
He's a little fucking bitch.
You see the word run. Do you want to see the worst photo of me of all time?
Please.
So when you do round the bays,
Yes.
which I did, I hurt my back. And then,
Congratulations.
thank you so much. And then still did round the bays. And what I would say is now I've maybe permanently ruined my back, but
We have to be careful at our age.
I know I hate that. I want to
I
be
love it.
not careful anymore. You really?
Well,
Like the
no,
excuse to not do
I've
anything.
never, I feel like my body's never been worse
Yeah.
right now. Like, it's been months since I've been to the gym. I'm stressed. I'm tired. I'm constantly inflamed. I've got a sore gut. I'm like farting nonstop.
Wow.
And that's beautiful. But yeah, I just need to like, I think ice plunge and Pilates or something.
Yeah.
I just want it to feel better. It's so bad.
All that stuff.
It's the last thing to go.
Your body.
No, sorry. It's the first thing that I'll get rid of in terms of my sketch if I'm like
Oh, like
busy.
any kind
I'm
of
like
fitness or
any
wellness.
fitness or
Yeah.
wellness. Like,
Okay, so I ran around the bays. They take photos of you the whole way. I didn't realize, and then they send it to you, and you can buy the
One
back for
photographer per person?
$20. And this is the photo of me.
wow.
That's the first photo that came up. It looks like my face is sliding off my bones.
You look, I have to say, it's like that's what you're going to look like.
I know.
And like, you don't look like that now.
I know I don't look like that now, but I did look like that day. I look, what, 55?
You look
60?
so pained. Oh,
And what's
your fist so clenched,
Oh.
holding on for dear life.
You're not meant to clench your fist. They're meant
Holding
be a
on to the
little bit
pain.
relaxed. Yeah.
But look at your big, broad shoulders and strong neck.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot. That means a lot. But my face looks insane.
Look, no one's going to look good running apart from that one meme of that guy that was like smiling.
Yeah.
That
Well,
is-
everyone else in my Round the Base group chat looked way better than me. But
Oh my God.
and it's what's wild is that I feel like I enjoy running. Like I like the feeling of it. But that's the worst one. But my facial expression is sad in every single photo.
Do you ever factor the gay?
Yeah, I do. Okay.
I love when you definitely kind of like read something you're like, yeah. It is a void.
That was a relevant
I
message.
know, I saw
from-
the message.
Yes, okay. So I was trying to look up the history of like gay broadcasting because I was like,
Huh.
the news is in the news.
Weather? With this gay.
Whether is gay. Anyway, what I found a history of gay broadcasts, and what I found in that is okay, relatively unconnected, but this is one of the first ever filmed sympathetic portrayals of homosexuality is a German film called Different from the Others, a silent German melodramatic film. It's oh my gosh, I just clicked out of it. Written by Richard Oswald and Magnus Hirschfeld. You know them well.
Love them. Love their earlier work.
So the film was intended to kind of protest the laws making homosexuality a criminal offence. One of the first sympathetic portrayals of gay men in cinema. This came out in 1919. But I'll tell you the plot. Okay, there's
Wait,
this
so what is it? It's a movie.
movie, a silent film, silent melodramatic film.
And we've never discussed this before?
No, yeah.
That's crazy, eh?
Yeah. Okay. So there's a successful violinist, Paul Corner, who falls in love with one of his male students. Uh-oh. Okay. A sleazy extortionist threatens to expose Corner as a homosexual. Flashbacks show us how Corner became aware of his orientation and tried to first change it, then to understand it. Corner and the extortionist end up in the court, with the judges sympathetic to the violinist, but when the scandal becomes public, Corner's career is ruined and he's driven to suicide.
Oh,
Really sad.
oh
But-
my god.
So yeah, this was intended to hopefully push the needle, change the law on homosexuality. The filmmaker had made a version of Picture of Dorian Gray earlier in this, so clearly interested in gay things.
Yes.
But the censorship laws meant it was only shown to medical professionals.
Well, that's a tough audience, actually.
Yeah, I know. I would hate to.
Imagine working quite hard on a film and being like, "Have you heard? Only the doctors are
Only
seeing it."
doctors are seeing it. I can imagine walking out and doing a stand-up show and being like, "What do you do for a job, doctor?" And then you find out that everyone in the crowd is a doctor. You're like, "Oh,
Oh god, it's because I'm gay.
yeah."
I miss the idea. I love the idea of a public scandal. We haven't had one of those in a while. Like we've had sort of political scandals. But like I'm thinking back to sort of unruly tourists. I'm thinking back to
Oh yeah, when
it's sort of fun, something kind of. I think that's what we need,
and someone out of nowhere becomes the thing that everyone's talking about.
and it brings our whole country together.
Yeah,
I'm willing to put my hand in the ring for it. Maybe
yeah, that's good. You should. What sort of scandal would you do?
it's a really good question.
Yeah, what sort of scandal would you be happy to be involved in?
Not an affair.
Nice.
It has to be something kind of fun so that we can discuss it. So I feel like as soon as you can form a kind of hot take on it and be like, actually, this discourse around X is toxic because of this, then it's over.
Yeah.
So I feel like it needs to sit in a real safe zone of like, oh, it's fun just to chat about, isn't it?
What if you found? What if we?
That's why we love the Natalia Kills Willie
Oh
Moon
my
situation,
gosh.
because it was like we all got to go, we all got to get in there and muck about.
Yeah, we all. You know that? Have you ever talked to Steph Monks from the radio station about her dad drove them to the airport?
Wow.
Drove Willie Moon and Natalia Kills
Wow.
to the airport where they were flying after they were kind of banished from the country.
I mean, I guess Pink not being allowed into a bar is sort of
That is fun.
so maybe something like that might happen.
What if you had secretly been going to the casino and card count and cheating for months, and then everyone
Yeah,
found
that
out
would
you'd-
be good.
Yeah, that's
that
quite a
would be
nice one.
good. Yeah, that would be really good. Oh, it's a bleak time, isn't it?
Where that's how we want to get our fun.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of a Queen of the Week that isn't Pink. Just for this, she's had enough time in the spotlight. What was your take on Ariana's album?
Barely listened to it. We played
Hmm.
classic night. Me and Sam night, as we were waiting to go to the movie, we played 2 rounds of speed chess while we listened to the first 5 or so songs.
You guys are made for each other.
yeah.
Beautiful.
But I was vibing. It felt pretty good.
Hmm.
She's not the Queen of the Week though. She
Get in the
cannot
bin.
be. Surely the Queen of the Week's got to be Miriam Makama, host of Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I didn't watch much of Sunday, but people loved it, eh?
Oh, and I was looking at the list of the big stories that they'd broken and like.
Really?
Yeah, when they pushed the government to make changes and stuff. Like,
Wow.
Yeah.
It is hard, like that sort of like deeper journalism or even fair go.
Yeah, that's.
There were a lot of people that like I never really enjoyed when people would have an issue and they'd be like, "Take that to fair go." You know, you take that to fair go. But now where will they go when like their contractor's been jerking off into their undie drawer?
I know that was actually Target.
Bring that back.
They should be. That would be amazing. If that would mean
Could
that would
you
be very
imagine-
sad if Figo left and then Target came back.
Imagine doing your job, just like your job right now. Like and someone had a camera on you for like 5 hours of the day,
Oh my god!
and then we just uploaded that footage to TV. I would be mortified.
Hidden
I'd be
camera
like,
footage.
oh, he's having another packet of chips. You know, like
yeah. It's on me when I was like doing character work at Motat, hiding.
like vomiting in your costume.
Yeah, my gingerbread costume.
I couldn't think of anything worse. It'd be so embarrassing. What were they
Oh
doing?
my
They were sniffing
God.
people's underwear, eh? That was the main thing.
Yeah, and he like
What that show actually did for like people are still worried about bringing contractors into their house.
I know
because of that
it
show.
scared people.
It scared people rotten.
Yeah, which is maybe a problem, and maybe
I would have a snoop. I wouldn't go into people's underwear drawers, but I would definitely go into their pantry.
Yeah, I would have a look at what.
Oh,
food
you
they
have a look
have
around.
as
I
well.
love looking around people's houses.
Yeah,
I actually
same.
weirdly relate now to the contractors. Apart from the underwear drawer, I'm like, when you go over to someone's house, of course you're like, what kind of shit have they got?
I love seeing what the setup is in the bathroom, how expensive the products are, how many.
Yes,
I love
yes.
seeing how many. I remember this when we were doing open homes. seeing how many colognes and perfumes people
Yes.
have.
That's a very interesting part of an open home when you go into the bedroom and then you're like, I want to check out like the storage solutions or what they've got, and you open the cabinet and then you're like, and you get a real like fast hit of who lived in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you see the Dior Sauvage and like the suits, the Tarot Cash suits. You're like, okay. I remember seeing like a Jordan B. Peterson book, like on a bed nightstand, and I was sort of like, whoa, like you really got a taste of
You're like, we
who
need
lives
to
here.
sage at this house.
Or you're like, no suits, okay. But like kids' toys, we're looking at a single mum here. Like, just I love piecing up the mystery.
the main house that we wanted before we got the one we have was owned by a gay couple, which we did work out because we did go into their walk-in wardrobe, and they had like 40 colognes and like
Wait, so the
Only
people who
men's
owned
clothes.
your house were gay?
nah, straight the one we current, which is crazy because it is a very gay house. But
Yes.
there was one on Owaraka Ave that we went to that we loved, but it was a bit bigger, and they wanted to sell to us because I think they figured out that we were a gay couple through the real estate agent, and so the real estate agent was really like, "Look, these guys really want if you can just
Your
increase the
little
offer
gay
a
agenda."
little bit," and we were like,
That's-
"No, we're at our maximum."
I love
and I
that
think
bit.
it sold for like 100 grand more than we.
I love being like, we would love for a gay couple to buy this house
Yeah.
for the price that we want it
want to
for.
sell it for,
So
yeah.
cuff up.
It did have a butler's pantry.
What is your feeling on when people gay couples specifically put urinals in their houses? Or urinal?
Yeah, why?
I hate it, but I've heard of it happening.
If I had,
A massive cock.
yeah, no, but if I had like an outdoor, the one thing I would do is maybe in like an outhouse kind of environment. You know, like a little bathroom in the garden.
A little bathroom in the garden.
Yeah, or like I've been to. Okay, one person. I've been to Lucy Lawless's house, and she had a swimming pool with 2 changing rooms, and I was like, "Yeah, I'd put a urinal in the changing room."
Oh, that makes sense. So if you're like swimming and you're
Yeah,
like, I gotta
yeah,
pee,
yeah.
I gotta
Gotta
pee, and then
piss.
you could quickly use the urinal. Yeah, I don't think they should be in domestic settings.
That's taking up so much. That's like a urinal is eliminating space in a public setting because it's allowing people to get their job done quicker.
yeah,
A urinal in your house is it's taking up extra space it doesn't need to.
yeah.
You never need to, like 20 people don't need to use the toilet.
No, yeah, it is such a men's rights sort of like energy to bring a urinal into the fucking bathroom, being like, what happens when we need a pee?
Yeah.
It's like, just use the fucking toilet like we've been doing for centuries.
You know what's a curse space is when portaloos have the urinal in them.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the one that I remember so well is the one in Edinburgh. It's in the Assembly Gardens, and it's like circular. So but it's below kind of your head height. So you are just eye contact with all the men
Yes.
peeing in a circle. But on the
Which
day,
I think some people are really into.
yeah. On the day around the bays, because we all had to go pee before we went, and so me and Zinni were kind of like lining up, waiting to use the toilet, and then we saw that there was urinals available, and we're like, oh, we can get this job done. But the urinals were pretty open, but it was like,
Yeah.
it'll just be so faster, so much faster. Then we went into the urinal, and that urinal was a box, urinals troughs on 2 sides.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'll go into this corner. And I was peeing into this corner. And then I realized there was
Which is a gay thing to do.
such a good, but then I was so public because the corner that I went into, there was such a gap between it and the nearest portaloo that it was like literally just, if you were on the other side, it was just framed my penis pissing.
Wait, was the urinal screen like perspex, clear perspex or something?
The urinal was fully open at either end. And then there was a cubicle portaloo here, but this
was open.
was open.
That is insane.
It was crazy.
That is insane.
It was. I've
It needs
never
to be
felt.
enclosed.
It
But
was
they do that in Amsterdam as well.
really.
They've got like public urinals that are like just like a little like a telephone box that you can just like. And I think they did it because so many people were pissing into the canals that they were
okay.
drunk, they were falling in and like drowning, and they were trying to like save lives or something. That's a fake fact that I've read, or could be real, but
It's as real as any other fact we've said on this podcast.
yeah, true. And this is how news is now. What's real, what's not, what's AI, what's not. But I think they should be enclosed.
Yeah.
I think you have to work. I think we deserve to be a bit more busting in our lives. And
Wow.
because that's just
That's
human
such
nature.
a hot take. We deserve to be more busting in our lives.
Well, I think in the way that like like women have to wait in lines and lines and lines and lines to get to the toilet at a concert or say because there's only X amount of toilets and it's like
Yeah.
unfair and it's sexist.
Yeah.
I feel like we get it too easy.
Wow. I mean, it sounds like you're really wanting more people to get prostate cancer.
Yeah, I
from
do.
Holding it in longer.
And I'm on record.
Yeah.
On film, I want that.
on video. It's video content, certified.
Speaking of busting, I actually need to go to the bathroom. So that's us.
That's us.
We don't have a Queen of the Week. We do.
Yeah, I mean,
No, I think that's it.
I think that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
That's been the Male Gaze.
And we love each and every one of you.
If you enjoyed this podcast, you can hear more of it on our Patreon.
We don't have that, but do subscribe and review. And
You're getting this for free.
And come and see our shows in Australia and New Zealand.
yes.
Please book now.
Please book
They're
now.
both. We're individually touring, and the links are in our
Bio.
separate Instagram
Separate,
bios.
but we'll make a joint one. Please support media. Please support journalism. So please subscribe to this podcast.
This is journalism.
And this has been the news. Good night.
I'm sorry, Mom. It's not a phase.